Once again, we are back, Anastasia, for Mecha from Japan.
Yes.
Good evening, and this is going to be a quick episode because we just did a podcast not too long ago. We went from, we had a long break to now we're doing like one every 2 days.
Yep.
Because you had something to talk about / complain about.
I have words.
What? So what is tonight's topic about, since I barely know myself?
G Gundam Episode 1.
G Gundam Episode 1. Okay, so the reason we would want to have someone who's just tuning into the podcast, welcome everybody. This is filmed in the Gundam for Japan store. Anastasia and I run the joint. Had a lot of fun today. A lot of new things are happening. We just had a recent podcast on the Gundam card game.
Mm-hmm.
Very
excited.
The miniatures game. Jeff from the Common Con podcast is in the back playing a miniatures game with his brother-in-law, and we told them to be quiet.
I'm sure they will be.
Because we're on the podcast. So if you hear anybody saying weird stuff, it's 40K weirdness. But that miniature game then led into our last podcast about our excitement about the Gundam thing. But that's something that's new and topical. What's been going on for you for a good 6 months or whatever is you started watching Gundam shows.
Yes, all of them through order of release date instead of like chronologically or any of the universes. No, just when they came out and going through it that way.
Yes, we've talked about this on previous podcasts that you've been building since you were 9, and you build like lots of stuff and you really know Gunpla well, but you didn't know the shows like most people would know. We get a lot of people that come in the store that they build for the relaxation. What do people do this for? Primarily, it's mental health to chill out and relax. When you know the show, like we're selling Iron Blooded Orphans kits again like crazy because they re-released a bunch of them, and it turns out a lot of people love that show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people's first Gundam show. It came out 8.5 years ago. So, we sort of go through these arcs where people build and then later they see the show and now they really enjoy building it because the thing means something more to them. Have you found in your journey of watching your Gundam shows that previous stuff you built means more to you, or what was the effect of that?
There was an effect of that. Like all the Zeta kits I built before I watched it, now I look at them and I go, oh my gosh, that's the thing. I loved that when I was a kid just building it, and now it has more to it than previously, be it the O or the Ashimar or whatever. And I never would have considered building the Zeta Gundam before watching the show. And
you loved Zeta, so you liked the designs, yes. And so that kind of brings us to our tonight's topic, which is of course, we've said this before, but we should set the stage for, so you only started watching, what has it been, 6 months? That's a ballpark?
6 months to a year.
Has it been longer than 6 months?
I don't know. Time's been weird.
Less than a year, for sure.
Yeah.
And you decided to get the Santa Claus list of Gundam shows in the order that they were released in real time. So people always come in and ask us, what should they watch first? And I think we've talked about on the podcast before, but I'll always say Thunderbolt or Origin or something.
Yeah.
But you could say the original show. So the original show was the original one you watched, and of course getting access to things. So as you've gone through this, have you had any real trouble getting a hold of stuff?
Yeah, there's quite a few things that you just can't find unless you do illegal things, and it's scary because I prefer to.
But we don't do any of that.
We don't do any of that. Like the hardest one to find was SD Gundam, the OG one, and it's not possible to find unless, which I do not endorse nor participate in.
I already knew that was the answer. The SD one. I think we have podcasts about that before.
Yeah.
So that's just setting the stage for why you're determined to sit me down and have a relatively short conversation. I guess complaining.
It's just
mostly
slightly complaining.
But so it's been about 8 years since I saw G Gundam, and I watched it a couple times in a row because I thought it was the funniest thing ever, because I only saw it after we opened the store.
Oh, yeah.
About 10 years ago. I just never saw G Gundam. It's a Saturday afternoon cartoon. I was overseas, and I just missed out on it. So I've been waiting for you to get to the juicy stuff that I love, which is on the near horizon for you.
Yeah.
Because you're going in a sequential order, and then more importantly, I love having you in my Gundam life, and I have to avoid spoilers with all sorts of stuff. So I'm so happy you're watching it for me personally, and then for the store, it helps to connect with people that like these shows. But G Gundam is a Saturday afternoon cartoon, but a lot of people grew up on it.
A lot, yes.
So I'm not saying look, this is a normal podcast where we're not restricting what you say. I don't prep. We don't even do any prep work before we get on here. Yeah. But I'm just making sure that you understand that people grew up on Wing and G Gundam.
I know. I had a conversation with my best friend as I was driving here, and I was like, I got to be very careful how I phrase things. I haven't finished the show yet. And this is just my observations. As
bashing is a hot take over G Gundam. Now, there's a good 50% of people are like, that show is trash for kids. I can't believe I loved it. I mean, you hear that too.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're caught up to you're on G Gundam. Where are you right now?
I'm in the 20s. I'm in the 20s of the episode.
How many are there?
50.
I don't remember.
There's
50.
a lot. 50 something.
All right. Well, you and I were watching G Gundam in the store,
Yeah.
and I asked if you got to that point. It was at the Tequila Gundam
It
part.
was Tequila Gundam.
And you and I had very different opinions on the general motivations. And normally, no, we don't agree on everything, but you'll speak your mind, and you're not going to back down, even if I tell you that Mr. Super Smart Gundam guy is going to tell you the way things are. You'll be like, no, you're not. You're crazy, and this is how I feel.
Yeah.
So this is why your opinion is not only valued, but you're a personality type that is going to definitely say it like it is. I mean, that's sort of the hallmark of your character. I'd say.
like to be an honest person if I can in any situation.
People admire and respect that, right? There's too many people, trying to just say what people want to hear. So even with my caveat of warning about G Gundam people that love
Yes.
it isn't some untouchable series. I mean, Bandai has come out and said we made a Saturday afternoon cartoon.
Yeah.
And so some people I've told them that you weren't crazy about G Gundam, and they're a little like, how? And then I tell them, you saw it when you were 13. She's not 13.
I'm a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah, you came to it too late. But
I came to it too late.
So now we're completely caught up to get to, which I have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth because, again, we don't do any prep work. So either set the stage or tell us why we were sitting here podcasting about the first episode of G Gundam.
Yes. So through my journeys, Victory comes right before G Gundam. Victory is an emotional, evil place where it will beat you down. And I finished it, and I was like, wow, that was such an amazing one. It's up there with Zeta with me. Really? Time to go watch G Gundam. Okay, so you start G Gundam, and the first episode, it sets it up as a world where they do the fights, whatever. But specifically, the effect it has on the populace of different nations. And we start in Neo-Italy, and it's completely destroyed. Domon comes in and immediately destroys some random tourist place, the Spain Square or something.
Yeah, you're not down with Domon, cause you.
I'll say how I feel about him at the end of the series.
All right. He's a hero, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's the protagonist.
He's the protagonist.
All right. But go ahead.
So
you're a Domon hater.
I just don't love him yet.
All right.
He wrecks a bunch of stuff, and the police dude is like, these Gundam fighters, they're destroying our nations. They're not doing anything productive. This is stupid. Why can't they just do this on their own little colonies, which is just the country, by the way. The colonies are just the country in the sky. There's no, like, I don't know. It's very hard to describe, but...
Saturday afternoon cartoon, young lady.
Going from Victory to this is a whiplash.
All right, keep going.
And so it's just a very much so, hey, this is the effects of this all cartoonishly thing, but it still frames it in a real world thing where I'm like, okay, I can see how this is semi-heavy and has war-torn themes, like any Gundam. Here's our little band of kiddos that we'll never see again, by the way. And it's just odd. There's a bunch of things going on, but then you get to the second episode, and all the commentary on how this affects the people is just gone. They don't talk about it again. Like,
all right, so you have ethical issues with the setup.
I have ethical issues because they set up all this tonal things, which is more Gundam, and I can get down with that. And then it's gone. They're in the Sahara Desert or something. There's no destroying the populace, which I'm happy for. But there's no the theming and tone just is gone.
Well, do you know what I remember about G Gundam, having watched it multiple times in a row and was sick of it by the end. You know why I was sick of it by the end? I don't even remember any of these ethical issues you're talking about. It's been so many years, I don't remember that. I didn't get that out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe because, I don't know, maybe because I didn't just come from Victory. Maybe I was just like, oh, I should watch this. People grew up on this. Oh, yeah. Look, it's like, and I was really engaged with the, I Fight You and the funny suits and Tequila Gundam and all. Because I already knew all the suits because I used to have art books for it.
Yeah.
So I was just looking forward to the next essentially racially insensitive mobile suit that was going to show up. But the reason I hated it by the end was I wasn't hated, I was sick of it, because if I hear that shining finger
I have the
one
quote.
more time.
I have the quote. You ready?
Wait, we got to put the camera just on you for this.
All right, you ready? I'm going to review. And this will be off the cuff because I didn't actually review. This hand of mine holds an awesome power. The grip tells me I have to defeat you. My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow. And then he just starts screaming, "Shining finger!" And then I'm like,
Wait a minute, we need to do that again. I'm going to clip that out, and just put it on a reel or something. That was actually good. That's like Shakespeare. You're producing, looks like poetry Shakespeare.
It is a little bit of poetry if you frame it in the right tone, but it's so goofy.
Was that word for word? I mean,
let me check. Let me check myself.
Were you cheating and looking down, or was that out of your brain?
I didn't look down. You can check the eye tracking there. All right, now I'll bring my phone out and I'll look. This hand of mine glows with an awesome power. Its burning grip tells me to defeat you. Take this! I missed that part. My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow. And then, as I said, you scream, Shining Finger!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you're so passionate about this. Take this!
Take this!
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
I was talking before you on the podcast today about, you're a COVID era person that when you came into the store and it's full pleasures of hanging out with people and being social is, baby, you've come a long way. This podcast is truly, you've left behind the we didn't talk to people thing.
I've escaped my reality.
Oh, this is refreshing. I like this. Now, I'm used to this in you because I'm with you so much, but I wonder if you even yourself, you can see that G Gundam has brought out the true Anastasia.
G Gundam is insane. It brought out a deep inner, all of my love, all my anger, et cetera, et cetera. Just, it's brought it out of me.
I've never seen you quite this conflicted, but I already knew that you were, because not only we get along, because you're dear to me in my life, and that we run the whole show together, and also so I admire you in every way. But then when we got to the Rodriguez with Tequila Gundam, I wasn't down with it because
you were hating on him.
I didn't like his behavior. You're like, that Domon guy is doing.
I was like, Domon is so much more worse.
But you were putting on your ethical dilemmas on him as if I was condoning it. I don't even remember the flippin' show. I remember
you're missing the context.
I just remember Shining Finger. Wait a minute. And you're on 20. If I remember right, it turns into Shining Finger like it's just over and over and over.
And it doesn't even work. There's the entire first 20 episodes is him either drawing or like straight up losing fights. Like he's like, oh, this is like a one punch where you're done, and he just it does this, and they stand there and like, you don't actually win, it's a draw.
Wait a minute, he's fighting the Rodriguez guy, the Tequila Gundam dude, and
he just kills him.
Well, but he's doing backflips, and he looks really ninja. He looked good to me at that stage. I remember so little of it because I only like brain wiped it out of my mind, not because I hated it that much, just because I overdosed on it. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Maybe at the time I saw it, it was the opposite of you.
Yeah.
I'm so used to UC and all the serious Gundam, and I'm like, this is goofy. This is awesome. And then I watched it like 3 times in a row in the store, and I should have never done that.
No.
You know what? My very first job ever was detasseling corn.
Oh.
So I'm in Indiana as a little kid, and you go out in the fields, like miles and miles of corn. And I don't know if there's a machine now for it, but they used to hire these kids to go out here, and you would pull off the tassels. It was like a asexual reproduction thing or something.
Yeah.
I'm still understanding what we were doing. But anyway, I mean, your arms get all cut up with this stuff, and it was my first job ever, so you're trying to do a good job. I don't know when I was 12 or 13 years old or something. But it was like, I guess it was under the table. Hey, I pay a 12-year-old to be out in the field. But I remember I distinctly remember going because I'll never forget it because it was the hardest day of work in my entire life. It was also the last day of that hard work because I made one day. But we get home. I think my brother was doing it with me too. We get home, and my mom is, of course, making dinner for us. So what does she make? Corn on the cob. Oh. I mean, I don't know if it was a joke or it was meant, but of course it was. So this is G Gundam for me. Yeah. Is that I overdosed on it and it was just too much of a good thing. And I'm not even sure it was even a good thing. I'm so left with a little bit, but your reasons are like morally, righteously indignant. And you've got like, pent up ragey angery things. Because
I've been on the Gundam UC darkness. This is the first alternative universe. And I've been on UC this entire time.
There's nothing like G Gundam either. I mean, there's I guess if you just say kiddie-like shows would be build fighters, but a lot of adults like build fighters, and that's more like people playing with their gunpla in an alternate universe. Yeah. G Gundam, again, Bandai said it was a Saturday afternoon cartoon. This is a real robot genre. That's not kind of its forte. No. Now, people grew up on it, and you could see it's Dragon Ball-ish, like in a way.
And I never liked Creature of the Week things. It just never was my thing growing up. I was always like NCIS or Fairly Odd Parents, I guess. Cool. The cartoony things I can name.
Except for Kamen Rider. We have to like Creature of the Week and Kamen Rider.
Oh, well.
That's different.
That's different.
Yeah,
and that's recent.
That's dudes beaten. Anyway, we'll get in comment here.
Yeah.
All right, so we have now established why you were beating me up about me not liking Rodriguez. Now I understand. I didn't realize you had deep-seated issues with the show.
His episode was decent because it actually like had some effects on the people and explored that, except instead of fighting a mummy in the desert who's also infected by something, like, I don't know.
So what did because you watched some of these shows with your friends, right?
All of them.
Are they getting the same thing out of it just
yes.
to keep on your good side? You were so adamant about it. I just sort of clammed up and like, okay, I'll just let you be all mad about this.
No. Eric, my buddy, he's on the same page.
Are you sure?
No. We were talking about this on the way here. There was no argument. So we were watching with another friend who does like it.
Okay.
And we were sitting there quietly trying not to complain too much and ruin their experience.
Did they have counterpoints for why they liked it? Because they just grew up on it?
It's goofy and fun.
How did they see it when they were younger? I mean, none of you people are old.
No, not really.
Just saw it now?
Just saw it now. And
watching it now with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that's how you did it. You sort of get your friends on a group, a group watch.
Just, they like it, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay, so I really will piece together your little passionate Shakespeare speech you gave, which was really fascinating to me because I don't remember that phrase or any of that. I just my brain just fixated on the green finger
He's doing
thing.
the whole thing where he's like,
they do. The master grade and the high grade, they have an extra large green hand. I mean, the kits are kind of cool.
I would get the kit.
The green hand is like a clear, glowy effect part.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that no one's done a custom build and really sprue glued an entire green Gundam and took that hand or something. I don't know. Just this is a unique part.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been replicated. But then again, G Gundam is its own little unique thing. So where we're at with the journey is 20 of 50. Is that where you said you are?
20s-ish. I don't remember the exact one.
Right. So you're watching with these people that are watching it sort of live and concurrently with you. Mm-hmm. Do you know what's coming? Do you have any spoilers?
I have no
clue. Okay.
All I know is Devil Gundam. He's lurking. He's somewhere. We just got to the Master Asia.
Do you feel so bitter at this point that there's no way it's going to be able to?
No, because I've been told it gets better in the second half, so I'm holding out hope.
Well, because I don't remember any of this. So didn't you say that it had all these moral implications and then second episode it was all over?
It was just gone. Like, it was such, like...
Maybe they got feedback from the audience who were like, we don't like the main hero.
Maybe. I don't know. It's...
More girls watch anime than guys. Maybe a bunch of you Japanese versions of you complained.
I think they took it to boys' cartoon from the past because it was girl fan base predominantly, and then they went to this other end, and then the girls were like...
I don't know the history of this, about who made it, or because I just missed out on G Gundam. I mean, I know lots about certain shows, Turn A, of course.
Yeah.
I know very little about it. Your experience going through this is not only valid, but as instructional to me as anyone ever talked to you about it, because everyone else colors their childhood in with it. I mean, I don't know how many adults are just going, let's watch G Gundam. You're doing it because it's in the sequence, and this is the one you're at.
Yeah.
What's after G Gundam?
It is Wing.
So I got the Gundam for Japan. We sell these shows there.
Yeah.
This is Wing Zero Custom, and images is this is our Gundam from Japan shirt we sold. And I didn't grow up on Wing. I don't dislike Wing. I actually almost dislike G Gundam only because again what happened, the D-Tassel corn effect.
Yeah.
I just didn't grow up on it. It's super important for the store. 98% of the customers in the United States, or not customers, but the Gundam fan base grew up on Wing. It's exactly the age. I mean, it's 80% of the people that walk through that door. Mm-hmm. So I respect it. I get it was a big part of people's lives. So they get in. And G Gundam for me too. That's why I was going to warn you.
Yeah.
Don't bash. It's people's childhood you're bashing.
I know. I'm doing my best.
It's not your childhood. It's your valid opinion of what it is. But Wing is next, and I would say Wing is kind of just weird that Wing and G Gundam came out back to back, and they're both not serious Gundam. I mean, there's Wing's not goofy fighty. But it's over the top. I mean, it's almost kiddie-like. Wing Zero Custom got feathers on it.
It has feathers. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a little soap opera-ish.
Death Scythe Hell is nearly a G Gundam suit.
That's true.
It's very popular. I like the design. I don't mean that, but I mean it's Batman. I mean,
yeah, I do like the Dragon Gundam.
I hopefully have this memorized because I don't. I used to know most of them in order, but it's so overwhelming now. Anyway, I just don't have them in order anymore. What's after Wing?
Gundam X.
Oh, that's good. I like Gundam X.
I'm excited for it.
Okay. I just try to see, you got to plow through 30 episodes of something you may or may not like.
50.
It certainly is going to leave you with a ability to talk in the store with people about G Gundam.
I'm going to be so well informed. I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be like, I built the Master Gundam high grade and master grade. I love that thing. Yeah, I was genuinely hyped when I saw it in the show. I was like, oh my gosh,
All right.
yay. And then I do like Master Asia. He's interesting.
Well, maybe over time, and you get a little further. Either you'll left with a better taste in your mouth by the end, or maybe when you move on to Wing or other things, you'll get see. Some of it is, I don't think you need to see a lot of Gundam shows to make G Gundam better, but I think you're a little bit further away from it, and the show may change for itself. By the time you get through Wing, and maybe in some time you'll be not necessarily or not out of necessity, you may become more diplomatic about G Gundam.
Yeah, I if people aren't lying to me and saying the second half is better, I'll probably be okay with it.
Well, and I imagine it is. I mostly remember the second half, not because I remember it being better. I just remember very much of it. Mm-hmm. The green finger just legit mind erased me.
It's like the Men in Black.
All I most remember is it just says this week.
Netherlands. It was legit the announcer.
Windmill dudes
let's
fighting.
Start.
Yeah, I remember him really well.
Yeah. Why does he have an eye patch? What's up with that?
He's a shark clone.
There is a shark clone. I don't know if he's evil yet. We'll find out.
All right, so this was a nice, fun rant. I enjoyed you being especially passionate about this one. But we may have to now do a little follow-up, a 15-minute follow-up on how G Gundam ended for you.
I'll let you guys know.
Well, we'll no doubt do some podcasts before then, since seemingly we're doing a podcast every 2 days now. What are we podcasting next? I know you have no idea. I just threw that at you.
Next Wednesday.
I don't know, but let's find something that gets your gizzard, because this was fun.
I'll think about it.
And we have one last thing to do. Sock cam! You thought I was going to forget.
Whoa, it's like my foot is hidden for a reason.
You only have one leg? What happened?
I only have one leg. I've lost it.
You have two shoes. Oh, there. Oh, it's black and blue and purple all over.
It's a butterfly.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's from Costa Rica during that previous monthly trip.
Yes, you just came back from Costa Rica, and apparently they have butterfly socks in Costa Rica.
They do. They have really pretty butterflies there. I went to a bug museum, and I saw a lot of butterflies.
Okay, so you saw monkeys and butterflies.
Yeah.
How far up do the socks go? Are they the little...
It's a weird question.
No, because you
There you go.
No, because your socks have cool stuff at the top sometimes, and sometimes they don't.
It just says Costa Rica.
Well, but that's interesting, see?
And Pura Vida, which is their little phrase.
Don't make me sound creepy. I ask you how far the socks goes every episode.
I'm teasing you. I'm making fun of you.
Don't razz me. I'm sensitive. I'm getting sensitive in my old age. But also, the other thing I always ask you is what? The other one match?
It does.
Because half your fun socks are the ones that do one thing on one foot and one thing on the other foot.
Yeah, and I will say there's something to be said about is the other foot matching, because I've had the same socks since I was 9. There's quite a few that are just gone, and I only have one pair.
I think the audience already knows this too. I think I busted you out a few times. I'm like, what's on your other foot? You got a whole different sock on the other foot.
Only once. You've only got me once, because it was a set of 4 that I got, so I just pair them together anyway.
Well, since you're a famous sock cam girl now, I'm going to start asking you randomly when I see you. It's like, you got matching socks on today?
I've been good, because I've gotten new ones recently, so they're not mismatched yet.
Well, you got some presents from a very nice young lady here in the store.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited to wear those.
Like Nutter butter and stuff.
Yeah, they're sweet.
All right, G Gundam's not your thing yet.
Not yet. We'll see.
Be careful what you say about G Gundam around here. I learned.
I'm so diplomatic. I'm so nice. I'm going to be so good about it.
You know, I feel like Paul Atreides in the old movie, not the new one, where he put his hand in that pain box. I feel like, I stuck my hand in a pain box with you when I defended was bashing Rodriguez and defending Domon.
You don't understand the deeper context of this.
Yeah, you were like mad at me. I'm like, well, I'm not that.
Well, you said you were going to be invisible, and then you started bashing Chico, and I was like, don't do that to my boy. Don't do that to my boy.
I'm not that deeply invested in this. I couldn't believe you. But now I see why you lashed out, because the passion you displayed here is, I think it's peak. It's peak for this podcast at the amount of passion you're driven by this.
I don't think this another show will get this out of me. We'll see.
I can't wait to see if there's a gigantic change of heart about this thing, and by the end you want to cozy up with Domon Kaju.
I don't think I want to cozy up with
I think it's gonna. Let me see if I can operate the board here. Oh, look, music's back on.
Whoa.
Young lady, that was a fun podcast.
Yes.
I really enjoyed your quote.
Shining finger.
Yeah. And as always, your socks are cute. And I appreciate you being here so that we can look back on this 50 years from now and think, what were we thinking?
I'll just keep screaming shining finger and over and over again.
It was fun. Thanks, everybody. See you on the next one.
Bye. Shining finger.